In today's video, we will be looking at a little work light that I picked up over at the old Lowe's. Would be a Craftsman work light. Now, me personally, I normally don't get sentimental about things or brands, but I gotta say, Craftsman has always had a little bit of a little place in my heart. I don't know if it's because when I was a kid, I'd run there with my dad and see all the tool kits they had on display at Sears, which is no longer Sears anymore. And yeah, like I said, I kind of quietly root for Craftsman just because of sentimental reasons, I'm guessing. But yeah, so this particular light, I was at Lowe's picking up some garden bags for the future leaves that will be falling into my yard, and yeah, I just kind of wandered through the old section there and saw this guy. Took a quick grasp at it, and seemed like it was a decent enough product. So I picked it up, and we're gonna take a look at it today. Getting into the actual information on the thing, it is a Craftsman C, as in Charlie, MMT as in Tom, 25165, and it is a rechargeable work light, basically. This form factor with the swivel heads and all that jazz is a fairly common form factor that a lot of companies are using right now, and this is basically Craftsman's take on it. It is rechargeable, USB-C. I did my little battery testing stuff on it, and as far as that goes, it recharges at 0.90 amps, so it's on a little bit of the low side. As far as the time to charge it, you're looking at 3 hours and 20 minutes ish to bring it back to full charge. Runtime. This is a weird one because on the packaging right here, I'll take a picture and put it on the screen, but it's saying that it's got 3 hours of runtime, which you guys screwed up over there at Craftsman, because a 3-hour runtime work light is a meh. But I mean, as far as my testing goes, I got close to, what did I put, 5 hours and 20 minutes of runtime. So that goes from a meh to a I'm making noises now for no reason. But yeah, that's something that they should fix, because it's almost double the amount of time that they're claiming, which is opposite of most lights at half the time and half the brightness. Speaking of brightness, it is a 400 lumen light. It has 3 different lighting modes. You got the one cob here, you got another light here, which we'll look at, and we got ourselves a flashlight type lens, I guess, on the front here. It also has on the, get my head out of the way there, yeah, that works a little bit better. Little power indicators on the back. Again, we'll take a closer look at that. Got the whole articulating thing, and apparently it comes with the Craftsman lifetime warranties. So yeah, let's switch the camera down, take a look at it, and dig into it a little bit. So this is it here on the bench. I will say that this cover right here and the cover for the actual cob, I'm guessing it's some type of extruded aluminum, so a little bit of metal has got to be better. One thing I did forget to mention in the opening of the actual video here is it's got 3 different ways of attaching this to an object. Obviously, you have the magnet down here, which is used for sticking onto things. Another thing you got is a hook for, oddly enough, hooking onto things. Then you have this little clamp dealio here you could use for clamping onto things. Isn't that cool? Now, getting into how this thing actually functions, you have the little arm that comes out here, which has the cob. You have a second, just a regular LED sitting down on here, and you have a beam style LED with a lens on it up here, which would act like a flashlight. So basically what you're looking at is one click on the power button turns the cob on, again at 400 lumens. You have the LEDs on the back to give you a power indicator or a fuel gauge. The second poke comes over here, which gives you a smaller LED light. kind of poking around. And one cool thing that they added to this is you can see right here on both sides, they put a little, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. They put a little magnet in there, and I was kind of thinking maybe it's another option for hanging the thing, but it's kind of a weak magnet. But then I got to thinking, you know, it's thin, it's long. If you have something kind of sitting in a hole somewhere, you could use the light to find it, and then use that guy to actually pick it up, which is pretty cool there. And then, of course, push and hold, and that gives you a little flashlight on the end, so you can kind of do flashlighty things with it. It's not showing up good on the camera. I would call it a definite usable flashlight. It's obviously more of a work light, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it would definitely serve the purpose as a flashlight. And to turn it off, you just push one button and you turn it off. As we discovered without actually talking about it, this would be your power. And again, cob, work light, little LED, push and hold. Then you got the flashlight. And this right here would be your USB-C charging. So yeah, I mean, the articulation on the thing, you have your obvious articulation where you would clamp it to something, you need light down here, and then you shine it that way, or you clamp it and you spin it around, and then you have your light going in the other direction. It's 180 degrees, so I mean, it pretty much will cover any direction that you want it to go in. Yeah, not bad. I kind of like it. So there we go. That is the Craftsman 400 lumen work light rechargeable. I like it. I'm actually kind of looking forward to throwing this in the old tool bag and putting it to use and seeing how she works out for me. Like I said, this isn't a new idea as far as work lights go, but yeah, I mean, it seems like it's good enough. And aside from some packaging issues, 3-hour runtime, it says on the package. Also says that on the website. And I gotta be honest, if I saw that 300-hour runtime, I probably wouldn't have bought this. I'm happy that it does over 5 hours, so that's good. Another thing I just noticed too, right up here in this corner, you're not going to be able to see that, but it says 2-year limited warranty, but on the website it says lifetime warranty. So get your act together, Craftsman. You're making good tools, but your packaging doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's pretty good. I kind of feel like Craftsman is becoming a sleeper tool brand that a lot of people aren't really paying too much attention to. I mean, it's partially because with the Sears and the Craftsman, then Sears went away, and then at one point in time they were selling them at Kmart, and then Kmart went away, and at some point in time, not even sure when, Stanley Black & Decker bought the brand name, and now Lowe's is selling them. And I got to be honest, just walking through Lowe's and looking at their tools, yeah, I mean, even their new style ratchet wrenches. This is from a kit I bought a couple of years ago. I mean, it's a solid ratchet wrench. I mean, you really can't go wrong with it. And I mean, they don't have quite the selection as far as mechanics tools go as Harbor Freight, but just about everything in there is cheaper. Stanley Black & Decker and Craftsman make their own tools, so that's probably why, because Harbor Freight doesn't make tools. They just slap their name on everything, so there's a bit of a premium going on there. And yeah, I would definitely say if you're looking for basic hand tools, take yourself over to, I almost said Sears, take yourself over to Lowe's and have yourself a look around. And the nice thing is too, unlike Harbor Freight, if you buy a socket set, like I personally did at one point in time, I lost an 11 millimeter. I mean, it's supposed to be the 10 that goes away, but yeah, I dropped an 11 millimeter, couldn't find it, and then I went over to Lowe's and went through the little drawers there and bought the exact same socket and stuck it in the kit. Whereas the Harbor Freight, if you lose a particular socket, I'm not sure if you could buy individual sockets from them. I mean, I know if you break one, they just give you the whole new kit, and I don't know how they make that work, but yeah, so yeah, the funny thing was too is that I was actually going in there I was going in there for lawn bags, but I was actually looking to check out their Overdrive new combo wrenches they have, which is an answer to the the Snap-on flank drive sets that they sell, which is Snap-on's been selling them a while, and there was a little bit of drama involved back then with someone on TikTok's short form media thing did the test with the flank drive and the non-slip icon version of that, and they used the Snap-on test with the little nylon nut, which is a stupid test, but it's what Snap-on does. They make a test so their tool does better than everyone else's, and that's what they did. And the whatchamacallit, icon wrench actually did better on Snap-on's test, and that put Snap-on into a whole tizzy of damage control. All the Snap-on truck guys on social media were freaking out and singing the praises of Snap-on steel and Made in America, and it was entertaining for a little bit. But then Torque Test channel did a little test, and they actually did a test and not just some goon reefing on a wrench. And of course the Snap-on did better than everybody else. The Icon did slightly less as good as the Snap-on version, but he over there at Torque Test channel, I'll link that video into the description of this one. He took the overdrive wrenches from Craftsman, and he put them on his little tool there, and it did almost as good as the Snap-on and better than the Icon, which I kind of thought was rather interesting. And again, my sentimental feelings towards Craftsman kind of made me a little happy about that. I don't know why, but it was an interesting setup. But so I think that's about it for this video. Some of you might notice I got a new light back here. I'm a 4-year-old, and I saw a light online. You probably can't see it. It might be blurred out, but it's a big check engine light, and I thought it was cool, so I bought it. And now it's hanging on my wall. It's kind of adds a little visual interest to my background without being totally distracting. It might be too bright and I might have to shut it off, but we'll see how it works out. But I like the light in the thing. If anybody else is a 4-year-old that likes shiny glowy things. And this particular thing, I'm pretty sure YouTube has a shop affiliation with Lowe's. I will try to link that in this. If not, you could just go to Lowe's and walk over to the shelf and pick it up off the shelf, whatever is more convenient for you. And that's about it for this video. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the old comment section. I will do my best to get back to you. And I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.